June 1947, when the Britishers finally agreed to end 200 years of hard and brutal colonization and decided to partition India and Pakistan before August 14, 1947. This single incident led to more than 2 million people dying due to hunger, religious riots, and mass killing during the partitioning. By the time Britishers left India after the Indian independence, we had nothing left than dead people lying on the streets caused by religious riots, others with no food nor basic jobs to start over. The only way for a country that is as big as India, with more than 376 million people still living after the independence, it's not just to lift, but uplift an entire struggling nation. Well, for the country that transported space rockets in bicycles and bullock cart, has now built its own space shuttle ready to carry humans out in space. How did a country which did not even have economy capable of feeding its own people during 1950s become the world's fastest growing economy in just 75 years? That's exactly what we are going to witness in today's video. So without wasting much time, let's get started. By 1950, India became a republic, and with newly elected leaders, they all started working on various challenges, including widespread poverty, literacy, underdevelopment infrastructure, and unemployment. Something has to turn over. The nation was desperately trying to stop people from dying because of hungerness. With that in mind, India started Green Revolutionary in 1960. The idea behind this movement is to build a nation that is self-sufficient in feeding itself. Started focusing on providing modern agriculture methods along with new seeds, fertilizers, and farming techniques to help farmers across nation. This fast growth was soon scattered by the defeat in Indochina War on 1962. This war was held because of border disagreement between two countries. The defeat in war highlighted the need of strengthen its military capabilities and improve border security. It also led to reassessment of India's foreign policies and diplomatic relationship with neighboring countries. In just 3 years of time, Indian military was again tested because of Indo-Pakistan War, which is still an ongoing problem with the dispute over religions of Kashmir. This war also led India to invest and test its first ever nuclear weapon in 1974 at Pokhran, and the nuclear bomb was called as Smiling Buddha. After testing its first nuclear bomb, India started facing a lot of sanctions and criticism across Western world. At this point, India decided to step back to concentrate more on internal development by starting its nationalizations of banks. Nationalization of banks have significantly benefited the people living in remote villages. Consider a small farmer who previously struggled to obtain loans from private banks for buying seeds and fertilizers. However, with the new nationalized bank nearby, he now easily applies for loans at reasonable interest rates. This enables him to invest in farm, increase cultivation, and enhance his family quality of life. Also back in 1970s, India was moreover an hockey playing nation, with already winning 8 times Olympic gold medal before 1980s. But this phase quickly shifted when India won the Cricket World Cup in 1983 under Sir 𝐜𝐵𝐿 Soon after this, cricket quickly turned from sport to religious in India, giving birth to a cricket nation. All the reforms we saw till now were helping India to some extent, but India realized that to be the next superpower, they need to do something big and bring quick major changes. Back in 1991, India made some big changes to its economy. They decided to loosen things a bit by welcoming foreign investment and easing government control over different sectors. It was a bold move, but it also paid off big time. With these reforms, India quickly became one of the world's fastest growing major economies by 1995. The big breakthrough also came in 1990s when computer and internet era took over the world. India, being one of the world's largest young population, saw an opportunity to turn its disadvantage into advantage. Realizing this potential, the nation swiftly began offering education tailored to the on-demand technology. Due to the never-ending tensions between China and Pakistan, and to mark India as the nuclear power country, under Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, India made an historic announcement in 1998 after detonating 2 additional nuclear fusion devices. They proudly declared India as a full-fledged nuclear state to the world. With the nuclear power in the hand, India also slowly marched to become world's third largest army with the state of artilleries and modern war weapons. India also made sure to invest part of its budget for space and nuclear program with the help of ISRO and team of dedicated and hardworking scientists, successfully launched world's most cost-effective rocket to explore Mars, the Mangalyaan. This rocket budget was just one-third of the cost used by NASA for the same mission. In India, providing healthcare for more than 1 billion people was always been a challenge. Imagine a place where many people struggle to get even basic healthcare. Some villages are far from any doctors, and many people can't afford medical care. This is a big problem in India. The government is doing a lot of help. They have set up thousands of healthcare centers in rural areas for over the years. These centers help mothers and children get the care they needed. Also, technology is making a big difference. Now people can see doctors without leaving their homes, thanks to the free internet services in rural area. This improvement slowly paid off when the last polio attack patient was registered back in 2014. Also, let's not forget that India has some of the best hospitals in the world, which increases healthcare tourism, where millions travel across the globe every year to India for treatment. During COVID pandemic, when India struggled to supply vaccines for its own people, it made sure to help 42 countries in African continent and other neighboring countries under the scheme of One Nation, One Health. The growth of India isn't just benefiting its own people, but also having the positive effect across the globe, where thousands of highly skilled doctors and engineers and manpower laborers every year travel across countries to not just benefit themselves but also the country they live in. And the world's major companies serve their highest number of consumers in India. For instance, the highest number of users for Google and Amazon come from India. These are just few examples. The list is endless and unfortunately cannot be covered in one single video. If I missed some major points, please do let me know in the comments. I also want to mention that we have tons of areas where we need improvements in terms of women's protection, religious rights, caste issue, corruption, crime rate, equality, and other sports development, and much more. With the country of 1.5 billion people governed by single government, it will definitely take a time to adopt and address all this issue. We should just wait and see how long it takes. Next time, never ever feel ashamed to say that you're an Indian or from any struggling nations. It's always good to remember our roots from where we started and where we are now. This video is dedicated to all the people who have left their family and friends living far away from home. Let's end this video here. Again, thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, one among you.